Hi guys, I wanted to review some of the things that we learned this week and last week. So we're going to go ahead and start with tables, which is what we started learning after the CBA, and a rule describes the relationship between the input and output of a relationship. Now, the input is the independent quantity and the output is the dependent quantity. Okay, and they can be organized in a table. So here's our first example. Here's your input. This is X. This is the independent quantity. And here's your output. This is Y. And that's your dependent quantity. Now, here in the middle we have our rule. And in this case we have X minus 3. So we're going to start with the input, which is 9. And we're going to subtract 3. 9 minus 3 is going to be 6. Then we have 8 minus 3 is going to be 5. And 6 minus 3 is going to be 3. So our outputs are going to be 6, 5, and 3. Now for the second example. This time we're going to have to start with the output, which is our Y. This is the dependent value, and we're going to use the rule. We have 4 parentheses X. What does that mean? That means we're going to be multiplying 4 times X. X is your variable, okay? And a variable is a letter that represents a number. So 4 times a number, okay? Now, the easiest way to do this is to think, what number times 4 is going to give me an answer of 0? So what number times 4 is going to give me 0? Well, I know that any number times 0 is 0. So we're going to go ahead and put 0. So 4 times 0 is 0. Now for the second one. What number times 4 is 4? Well, 1. 4 times 1 is 4. And the last one, what number times 4 is 8? And that's going to be 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? Now down here at the bottom, I want you to work these two out by yourself. And one of them is actually going to be just like the one from up here. And you're going to start with the input. So this is your X. This is the independent value. You are going to be multiplying these numbers by 5. So 5 times the input is going to give you your output. For the second example, you're going to start with the output. These are your Y values. This is the dependent value. And you're going to have to work backwards and ask yourself, what number plus 2 is going to give me an answer of 3? What number plus 2 is going to give me an answer of 4? And you're going to have to fill out the tables. Okay? Now, if you flip it over, this is what we were talking about this week. And a sequence is a list of numbers in a specific order. Each number in the sequence is called a term. Okay? And then we have two kinds of sequence. The first one is the arithmetic sequence. And the arithmetic sequence is a sequence in which each term is found by adding the same number to the previous term. Okay, so we're going to do several examples together. If you look at this table, it says use the words and symbols to describe the value of each term in relation to the position. Then find the value of the 10th term. So we're going to have to find the 10th term. Alright, so when you have a table like this, you want to start with the X. So this is your X, this is your input, and this is your Y, this is your output. Okay, so we're going to start with the input, which is 1. So 1 times what is 4? Well, I know that 1 times 4 is 4. So if I check the other ones, what's 2 times 4? That's 8. That works. 3 times 4, that's 12. 4 times 4, that's 16. So this is called a geometric sequence. And a geometric sequence is when you multiply each time or when you divide. So my rule is going to be 4n because I'm multiplying 4 times each number. That's my rule. Now, if I want to find the 10th term, then I'm just simply going to plug in 4 times 10 is going to give me 40. Okay. Now, let's say that I would have had just the sequence by itself, like so. Then I can look at it like this and say, how do I get from 4 to 8? Well, here I'm adding 4. Here I'm adding 4. Here I'm adding 4. So in this case, if you just have the sequence by itself without the table, then this would be an arithmetic sequence. Because my rule would be n plus 4. Okay? And if I wanted to find my 10th term, then I would add 10 plus 4, and I would get 14. Now, down here at the bottom, you have a table. And again, you have to find whether it's a geometric sequence or an arithmetic sequence. You have to write the rule whether you are multiplying, adding, subtracting, or dividing. And then you have to find the value of the 10th term. Okay? So make sure you have all 3 for problem number 1 down here at the bottom. Okay? Thank you.